I got this Dell XPS motherboard on eBay for, I think it's right around 50 bucks. And I decided I would take heatsink and everything off, clean it up, and put some new thermal paste on it. So here I'm taking my screwdriver. There's 4 screws that holds it down, and I'm just kind of going around a little bit at a time to undo it. So I don't know if that's actually necessary to do it that way, but I just felt like it, especially when you tighten it back down. I definitely think it's a good idea to go around it a little bit at a time so that it's, you know, evenly held down. The undoing part may not be as necessary. So you'll want to clean both the back of the bottom of the heatsink and the top of your CPU. Coffee filters and rubbing alcohol work great, and it's a very inexpensive way to do it instead of buying individual pads with rubbing alcohol. I personally find that this is the best idea anyway, to clean the top of the CPU first before you remove it, if you're going to remove it, which you really, in this case, honestly, it's not even necessary to remove it. I did that just because I wanted to show the process of putting it back in later. You do have to be careful with that thermal paste, not to try to keep it from getting in the pins underneath. And if it does get in the pins underneath, don't try to dig it out. I've tried to do that one time and I damaged the pins, and if those pins get damaged, the whole motherboard basically has to be thrown out. You just have to pull that lever off and then it comes right up. It's really nothing to it. And now I'm cleaning the bottom of that heatsink. Like I said, it really should be cleaned too. Here's the process of putting the CPU back in. Pull the lever, push it down, and it kind of just comes up. And then there's going to be an arrow on your motherboard, and there's going to be an arrow on the CPU. Line the arrow and the arrow on the CPU and the motherboard up together, and it will just kind of fall right into place. It shouldn't, honestly, it should not fall in there if it's not lined up correctly. And you can kind of jiggle it a little bit to make sure it's in good. Then put the arm back down and it's good to go. You'll have to put your heatsink back on before you actually use it, of course, because that's how it keeps it cool. There's multiple schools of thought on how you should do thermal paste. I personally like to put a little bit on the bottom and spread it with a little, I guess you call it spatula thing. You can buy these on Amazon. And I just keep using the same one over and over. I clean it off after I get done with it. So you really don't even have to buy it but one time. And I just take my time, spread it. I don't spread it on the CPU. I spread it on the heatsink itself. There's plenty of argument about this on the web. Some people say this is the best way. Some people say, you know, you just need to put a little glob on there and then pop it on there and it'll spread itself. This is just the way I do it. I don't know that my way is necessarily better or right. I honestly don't think one way or the other is that much better or right. Just go into those 4 slots, and I just kind of go around at a diagonal into a circle and just do a little bit at a time and keep going until it gets tight. And there's no reason to over tighten it, but just when it gets tight to where it would be a point where you'd have to put a lot of force to turn it anymore, and then just stop at that point. But if you go around like I'm doing, one little by little, it helps to keep it more evenly sitting on top of that CPU, because you don't want it sitting on the CPU at an angle. You want it flat on top of the CPU. And the last thing you'll need to do is plug your fan back into the CPU fan header on your motherboard. There's only one way it can go in, so if it isn't going in, you may have it turned upside down.